Welcome back. We're on Second Cup, and today we're at Amarillo Little Theater's Adventure Space, and I'm joined today by Fuller, and it has been a pleasure to meet you. I haven't met her until today, and I want to talk about this because Stephen King's Misery, this show opens on Thursday at the Adventure Space, and I want to talk about the character that you play and how people, what they can expect, coming from you.
So Annie Wilkes is a very, very diverse character. So it's funny because Annie Wilkes in the book is different from Annie Wilkes in the movie, is different from Annie Wilkes in the play. And so in this show, you get to see a lot more of the fluctuation of how she is. And you really start to delve into the mental health issues that Annie has. This role was originated in the film by Kathy Bates, who, oh my gosh, amazing. And she's a huge idol of mine, but it's not the same. So I tell people all the time, don't come to this expecting Kathy Bates, because it's not that at all. But Annie's had a lot of heartbreak in her life. And for those who have read the book or seen the movie, you know that, and I won't give too much away, but you know that there are certain things that she's done in her past, but that's not touched on in this show. You don't know any of that. So anybody coming in having read the book or seen the movie, they know those things, and that's okay to know those things. But we don't talk about that here. It's kind of insinuated, but we don't discuss that. But she has we've gone through a whole bunch of diving into Annie herself, and she has a whole slew of undiagnosed and untreated mental health disorders.
Yes, which I want to talk on that too. Planning for a character this complex character. I mean, you're dealing with, again, struggles, and then also some of these fabulous props. This is fake, by the way. But having to deal with that on stage and really prepping for your character, you guys have a mental health coordinator on scene. Talk about that and just the prep leading up to it, because Stephen King's Misery, although I do not know much myself, this is the perfect show for this type of season, October, Halloween. It's very different from Frozen, which you guys just finished off with. But really, planning and prepping for Annie, what has that been like?
So we actually had a mental health coordinator come in, Callie Hissick, who is amazing. Yeah. She is such a wonderful person, and she brought all these tools. She brought some fidgets as well. Love it. I actually have one in my work vest pocket. It's a ring it is a acupuncture ring that you slide up and down your finger for those who fidget with their rings. Mm-hmm. But she also decided to look into a lot of different mental health disorders, and we compared them to Annie and kind of pick and chose what we believed was going on with her. There are some very hard scenes in this show that require, for your own mental health, to ground yourself back in so that you can prepare for the next scene. So we discussed what is going to help me, and so I actually have an ice pack backstage, and I think that has ice in it to help ground and pull me back from, again, not to give away too much, but pull me back from a very far reach to prepare for having to be another part of Annie.
Yes, and I want to highlight that as well, because people don't realize how much work is put into putting on a production like this. I mean, it takes everything, all the resources, like you said, mental health coordinator, also a stunt coordinator, like a fight stage combat coordinator, because there's a little bit of that in the show as well. And another thing I want to touch on is you guys are all people here in our community, and you are a mom, you're a new mom. And so, again, how do you balance, coming here and being one character, but then, having to go home and be a mom?
That's another thing that we worked on with Callie, is how to leave Annie here. Annie lives here. Annie does not come home with me. And if Annie starts to come home with me, we have a discussion and we talk about how we can leave her here. And it's worked very well so far. It's become very easy to leave her. She lives at the ALT Adventure Space.
I love that so much. But, you know, I mean, there's so much that the community, if they come and see this show. Patrick had mentioned, you know, the show is sold out, but you can get not standing tickets, but that's kind of standby tickets. I was like, what's the word for that? Basically, you show up about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the show.
30 minutes.
30 minutes before the show to come and get a ticket. So this is one you don't want to miss. So Thursday's opening night. Well, thank you, Kayla, for coming here and, you know, telling us a little bit about Annie. I'm excited to see what's to come.
Thank you.
Well, we have more Second Cup on the way. Stay with us.